What's up, family? Man, we're back again with another powerful word. You know what I mean? Man, today's going to be kind of powerful. It's going to probably be triggering for some of you. Man, it's going to be sensitive, passionate, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's a trip because it's always bigger than you. And you guys have heard me say this before. It's bigger than you. Everything you go through in life, it's bigger than you. You know, Yesterday I got an email from a young man that watched the videos and he's analyzed, and he was thanking me for how just my videos have helped him. They've helped him deal with so much of the pain and trauma that he's endured along the way. A lot of the things that he's gone through in his early childhood and even still today in his 20s, it's made him understand certain things about his life. It's helped him heal and resolve certain things. And then he ended it, towards the end, he was talking about how, man, he has peace now. He talked about, man, finding the love of his life, them getting together, and this life happens, and man, and just the relationship went bad, and he's resolved that, and he's moved on, but he has this peace and this joy now. But he asked the question, what good is having that peace and joy if you can't spend it with the person that you love? What good is having that peace and that joy if you can't share that with the people you love? And I told him I was going to comment on that. I want to make a video about it and just talk about that. And it's a trip because I shared this with you guys, that, man, a couple weeks ago, Saturday, man, the Queen and I went through something, and it's something, something big, and many of you guys have been asking about her, sending messages, and even on the live stream saying, where's the Queen? How's the Queen? What's up with the Queen? Because you haven't seen her on, and again, 2 weeks ago, Saturday, we went through a situation, and man, we hadn't talked. We went our separate ways. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be final. I don't know if we're going to come back together. I don't know any of that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not even trying to pretend to act like I know that, but whatever happens, man, everything's always working out for our good. You know what I mean? You have to believe that. You have to trust that, and people are like, how were you able to have so much peace? Man, you talked about, man, you went through whatever it is that you went through. Man, that was the most embarrassing moment of your life. That was the most humiliating moment of your life, what you went through 2 weeks ago. And now you're talking about you have this peace. And now you're talking about you have, this unconditional love and with the whoop. And man, you love the Queen, and not that she did anything wrong. It's life happens. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, I have this unconditional love. I have this joy, this peace that passes all understanding that I can't even describe. I can't even explain. I can't put words on it. I have it because of the things that I've gone through in life. Stay with me. I'm going to go somewhere. See, you guys know my story. Those of you who've been with me for a while, you know how, man, the craziness that I grew up in. You know that at the age of 2, my father murdered my mom right in front of me. Stabbed her 49 times. At the age of 6, I was sexually molested twice by people in the church, by guys in the church. And it's just one ordeal after the other for my life. Different women coming in and different women walking out. And one of the things that I've had to learn was to forgive my father. And there's a trip in 2017, 2018, I took my kids, my younger kids, to go see my dad. He was in Oregon, and he was getting ready to die. And I knew he was getting ready to die. And I told him, my kids was like, Dad, why are we going all the way up to Oregon? That's like 9 hours away, and da-da-da-da. That's a long trip for somebody who did it to your mama. And why are you doing this and all this stuff? Oh, heck no, I could never forgive nobody that did this stuff to me. And I want them to hear me. And I made it clear to them, crystal clear to them. I need you guys to understand something. You guys have to you guys don't learn anything else from my life. Please, I'm begging you, learn this. learn this. If I can forgive my daddy for murdering my mama right in front of me and causing my life to get on the path that it was on, if I can forgive my father for rejecting me and being verbally abusive to me as a little kid and hating me because I reminded him of my mom, if I could forgive my father for all that he did, then I don't care who does what to you, you can forgive them too. Let me say it again. I'm 53 years old now, and it's taken me a while to get to the point where I can forgive my father. It's 2017 when I finally forgave my father. I was 47 years old before I finally, truly forgave him. And I had to understand, forgiveness wasn't about him. The forgiveness was for me. See, as long as I had unforgiveness, I could never have peace of mind. As long as I had unforgiveness, I could never walk in my joy. As long as I had unforgiveness, I could never truly be happy. And so when I forgave my father, it became easier, put it that way, for me to forgive other people for what they had done in my life. I didn't want to forgive them at first. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. I didn't want to forgive them at first. But God would always bring back to my remembrance my three younger kids, mom, Elijah. I hated her for leaving the relationship. Had so much hatred towards her for abandoning our marriage and for taking the kids. And God had to, Elijah, I know that hurts. I know that went against everything that you hoped for. I know you didn't want your kids growing up without their father in their life like you grew up. I know you didn't want your kids to go through the pain and suffering of just a single household like you did. Elijah, I know you didn't want this for your kids. But it's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. Elijah, if you can forgive your daddy for murdering your mama and taking your mom out of your life, then how come you can't forgive this woman for breaking your heart? How come you can't forgive this woman for crushing your dreams? How come you can't forgive this woman for taking your kids? What was the worst thing? Yes, you lost the marriage. Yes, you lost being in the household with your kids. But can you compare that pain to the pain of you losing your mom? And when I sat there and I thought about it, and I had to be honest, it's like, oh, heck no. That pain don't even compare to the pain of witnessing my mama murdered. That pain don't even come close to witnessing or just experiencing the fact that, dang, I've never been able to hug my mama again. See, I've spent time with my kids. I've taken my kids on trips. I've gone out, I've flown out to where they were at and stayed and spent time with them. I've flown them out to where I was at and spent time with them. But I've never been able to make up time with my mama. I've never been able to have another conversation with my mama. I've never been able to see my mama again. I've never been able to see her laugh. I've never been able to have her put her arms around me and caress me and hold me and tell me everything is going to be okay. And if you could forgive the person that took her, if you could forgive the person that pulled all of that out of your life, that robbed you of that experience, then how come you can't forgive all these other people? I know a couple weekends ago, that's coming up this Saturday, 2 weeks ago, what you went through was humiliating. It was embarrassing. I know, Elijah. I know you're mad. I know you're hurt. I know you want some get back. You want revenge. You want them to feel the pain that they've inflicted on you. You want them to have to be embarrassed and ashamed like you. You want them to have to risk losing it all like you. I know you want them to suffer like you suffered. I know you want them to hurt like you've hurt. But you know you got to forgive them. You know in order for you to have your peace, you're going to have to forgive them. In order for you to be able to move beyond this, you're going to have to forgive them. In order for you to heal and grow through this situation, you're going to have to forgive them. And see, so many of us, you guys hear me talking about this all the time, we go through stuff, but the great majority of us, we never really grow through it. We never really sit there and process it all and understand why it happened, why it was necessary, why it's so crucial to your growth and development. Man, we got to process it. Ooh, I'm drinking some mint tea and other different herbs in it. That's hot. Burnt my throat. But we gotta grow through what we go through. If you never grow through it, you can't never really truly expect to have peace and joy and happiness and feel fulfilled. And if you never really grow through it, you're gonna have to keep going through it. Get back to this young man's story. What's the sense? What good is it to have peace and joy if you can't spend it with the people you love? I haven't seen the Queen since that night. Haven't talked to the Queen since that night. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I don't, honestly. Do I want the relationship to work? Yes, yes. Am I still madly in love with her? Yes, yes. Do I forgive her? Yes, yes, yes. Do I forgive myself for my role, for my part in that? Yes. See, that was all part of the process that I had to sit there and work my way through. Through the anger, through the pain, through the shame, through the embarrassment, through the humiliation. And so I'm sitting there and I'm talking to you guys about this because this young man, his email moved me. And I wasn't really going to talk about this aspect or this portion of my experience with the Queen. You know what I mean? I try to keep that part, you know, my life private in that regards. You know what I mean? But I kept hearing God all night, all morning. It's bigger than you. You didn't go through all of that just for you. You guys went through that because other people need to hear this. Other people need to know, man, they going through stuff too. Man, if they could go through this and still be a beacon of hope, a beacon of love, then how come I can't be? If they could go through this and still hold their head up and still be loving and compassionate, then how come I can't be? If they could go through stuff like this and, man, not know how it's going to work out, but still believe that everything is always working out for me. I believe that with every fiber of my being. Everything is always working out for me. Whether the Queen and I get back together, everything is always working out for me. Do I want us to get back together? Yes. But if we don't, everything is always working out for me. You have to take that mentality on. You have to take that as your DNA. That's who you are. You have to understand that. Everything is always working out for me. And because I believe that, because I know that, man, I could sit here with a smile. You know what I mean? I could sit here and just like, man, I don't have to trip. I don't have to worry. I don't have to be scared. I'm comforted knowing that everything is always working out for me. Yes, I want us to get back together. That's what I want. That's my hopes, that's my wish. But I have to be in alignment with God, with Source, with what's in my best interests. See, so often we go through stuff and we want things to work out the way we want it to work out, not understanding that's not in your best interest. That's not the plan that I have for you. And we miss that part. Because we want what we want and we want it how we want it. And if we don't get it that way, then we're frustrated. Then we don't get it, then we're mad, and man, there's no reason to be grateful, and da-da-da-da. And we go down this negative spiral of woe is me and being a victim. I can't afford to go down that rabbit hole any longer. I can't afford to go down that road of negativity. We came here to be a beacon of hope. We came here to be a beacon of love, to be a beacon of light. How can we be a beacon of love, a beacon of light, if we hide our struggles? How can we be this beacon if we don't ever go through anything? If we don't ever grow through anything? I see so many of us, we're waiting for this perfect life. We're waiting for everything just to be so perfect. Then I'll be this beacon of hope. Then I'll flex and pop my collar and floss and whoop, and man, people will see me. People will be drawn to me. If that's how you want to live, then you keep waiting for that. That's not me. That's not me. I share my pain and my struggles. I share my losses and my wins. Why? Because I want everybody to understand, man, in life we're going to take losses. In life we're going to take wins. We're going to have wins. We're going to take setbacks. People are going to walk out of your life. People are going to hurt you. People are going to try to destroy your character. People are going to lie on you. It is what it is. Everything is always working out for me. Everything. And strip, I'm going to go ahead and read this scripture. I closed up the Bible because Isaiah 43. And you guys have heard me talk about this a lot in the past. I love this. It's probably my favorite scripture. I don't know why. No, I do know why. Because it's powerful. You know what I mean? It's so prophetic and yet so real. And it says, Isaiah 43 verse 2. When thou passest through the waters, this is God talking, right? And he's telling him, Jacob, when you pass through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. And when thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame be kindled upon thee. And what he was telling him was, man, you're going to go through some stuff. And this is the message. You're going to go through some stuff. You're going to go through some stuff. But when you go through it, I got you. When you go through it, it's not going to overwhelm you. When you go through it, you're not going to get drowned by the water. When you go through the fire, it's not going to consume you and burn you up. And other people are going to sit there, how can he go through what he's going through? I know what he's going through. How can he make these videos? How can he talk about hope and love and forgiveness and gratitude and whoop-doo-doo? How can he get up every single day with happiness and joy and keep moving as though nothing is going on? He's a hypocrite. He's faking the funk. No, I know who I am. I know who's got my back. I just read it to you. When you go through the waters, they won't overwhelm you. When you go through the fire, it won't even be like you've been in the fire. You won't even come out. You won't even smell like you've been in fire. You won't even smell like smoke has been on you. Yeah, you guys heard me talk about this in the past. The 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Man, King Nebuchadnezzar made this statue and told everybody to bow down. And these 3 boys like, man, you got me twisted. I ain't doing all that stupid stuff. I ain't bowing down to that. Nah, not me. I'm not that one. You know what I mean? And they didn't bow down. The king brought them before him like, man, I'm going to give you another chance. Maybe you didn't hear me. You didn't hear what I said. So when you hear this trumpet blow, you better bow your little raggedy ass down like everybody else. Or we're going to throw your ass in this fire. This is those 3 people. You got us twisted. Just go ahead and throw this in the fire right now because we ain't going there. You know what I mean? We ain't bowing down. Man, they cranked up the fire 7 times hotter. This is what the Bible says. They cranked up and it's like that. How can you crank a fire 7 times hotter? I thought fire was hot already. But they made it 7 times hotter and threw those boys inside. And God showed up with them, walked with them in the midst of the fire. Everybody's king and looking at them. Hold on, wait a minute. I threw 3 people in the fire. Now I see 4. Truly, they serve the true God. Opened up the door, let them out. Their hair wasn't burned. Their clothes wasn't burned. They didn't smell like smoke. They didn't smell like nothing. And I'm sharing that because we're going to go through things in life. And when you go through it and you grow through it, see, that's the key. You have to grow through it. When you grow through it, man, you'll come out smelling like roses. You'll come out looking like you ain't been through nothing. You come out and you're talking and you're sharing your story and people are like, what the hell is wrong with this person? How can they have happiness? How can they have joy? How can they have peace? How can they be witnessing to me? How can they be encouraging me? How can they be trying to uplift and inspire and motivate me? And I know the hell they're going through. You know the hell we're going through, but you don't know the person that's in the middle of the hell with us. You don't know the joy that we have. You don't know the peace that we have. And that makes all the difference. That makes all the difference in the world. It's been connected to God. Understanding why this is happening. And in the midst of it, after you work your way through the process of anger and victimization and all the other stuff that you go through, after you work your way through that process and you come to the place of, man, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that this has happened. I didn't want it to happen, but I'm grateful that it happened. I'm grateful that it happened. Not only am I grateful for it, man, God, I bless the person. I bless the people that's involved in this situation. Those that are trying to harm me, those that are trying to slander me, those that are trying to mess up my reputation and turn my kids against me and all this other stupid stuff. Man, God, I bless them. I don't want anything to do with them. You know what I mean? I'm talking about my siblings. I don't want anything to do with them, but I bless them. I send them love. I send them healing. Why? Because I understand that had they not did what they did, my son would have never reached out to me and had the heart-to-heart conversation that we did. See, it took their ignorance, it took their lies and their deceit and all the other stupid stuff that they were trying to sow to get my son to reach out, to see if it was true. He had to see for himself. And so he reached out on their word. And it blessed our relationship. It strengthened our relationship. That's just one of the many benefits of what this ordeal was, of why I had to go through what I had to go through. I learned a lot more about me. I learned a lot more about, man, I do got to crush this ego. Man, because my ego don't want me to be embarrassed. My ego don't want me to be humiliated like this. And then in the middle of the fire again, I had to learn to trust God, Source, the Most High, universal consciousness, whatever you want to call it. I had to learn to trust. I thought I trusted. I know I trusted. But my trust had to go to another level. My trust had to go to another level. My faith had to go to another level. And so, to answer the question, why do you want peace and joy and happiness when you can't share it with the people that you love, when you can't share it with the person that means that much to you? You see, you don't have peace and joy and happiness for them. Just like you don't forgive them for them. You forgive them for your peace, for your sanity, for your growth and development, for your happiness. See, the peace, the joy, you have to have that. Whether God brings that other person back into your life or not, you have to have that peace and joy and that happiness. If God is going to bring somebody else into your life, You already have to be at peace. You already have to have joy and happiness. You don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. And that's part of trusting the process. That's part of understanding, man, everything is always working out for me, regardless of what happens. I'm blessed in my coming. I'm blessed in my going. I'm good regardless. Yes, I have my wants. Yes, I have my hopes. Yes, I have my desires. But if for whatever reason, God doesn't allow that to return after they've healed and grown through what they needed to grow through, then I still win. I still win. You still win. You still win. We can't lose. You can't lose. The only time you lose is when you decide to lose. It don't matter what happened. The only time you lose is when you take on that loser mentality, that victim mentality. That's when you lose. It don't matter how much money is gone, how much money you quote unquote lose. It don't matter about the relationship. It don't matter about the job, the house, the car, the material stuff. If you lose all of that, you don't lose it. You don't lose it. What God had to show me was, Elijah, it's an investment in your growth and development. Everything is about perspective. Everything is about perspective. All the things that you no longer have, it was an investment in your growth and development. It was an investment in them. Learn to be appreciative. Learn to be grateful. You have the opportunity to invest, buy, spend time with, whatever, in these other people. Whether they reciprocate it or not, it don't matter. You're making an investment. And in divine timing, that investment is going to come back to you 100 times more. That's called karma. I've sown into your life. I've helped you out. I've given you money. I've done da-da-da-da-da. And you dogged me out. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to be a victim. It was an investment. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity and privilege of being able to invest into your growth and development. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity and privilege of being able to invest into your life. Why? Because universal law, karma says, what you do, you're going to reap. You reap what you sow. Because you've invested into the lives of others. Others are going to invest into your life. And so you don't lose. You don't lose. You may not get that person back. You may not get that car back. You may not get those material things back. But that's okay. What you're going to reap, it'll be better than what you lost. And so you didn't lose. You gained. It's kind of like the story of Job. And you guys hear me talk about Job a lot. It's like the story of Job. Job lost his 10 kids. He lost all his money. He lost his animals. He lost his health. Because he was going through a situation where he had to grow through. And in the end, he had far more money and wealth than what he had lost. He had double the money that he lost. Man, my hope and prayer is that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, to uplift you, to let you know, man, it's all good. It's all good. It's all love. It's all love. Man, keep growing. Keep moving. And watch how God worked things out for you in your life. Watch how things just happen. Watch how opportunities just start presenting themselves to you. Watch how doors just start magically opening for you. Man, I wish I could take my peace. I wish I could take my joy. I wish I could take my happiness and just hug each and every one of you and just give you some of it. I wish I could just take it and just sprinkle it through the camera and just it land on you and you're now filled with love and happiness and joy and the faith to keep going. But I understand that I can't. Every one of us have our own unique journey that we have to walk. And we have to grow through the process on our own. I get that. As painful as it is, I get it. Everybody don't want to grow through the process. A lot of people are comfortable being victims. A lot of people want to stay victims. And man, it is what it is. You can't change that. You can't control that. Stay connected to God. Stay true to you. Keep growing. Keep being grateful. Keep forgiving. Keep loving. This is how we become beacons of hope and love. I love you guys with every fiber of my being. Happy healing. Peace.